Another lighthouse. Instantaneously we get that in. Perfect. Get the monument rocking in this city. Available trade routes. I feel like Flying Thunder is still a really good place to send this sort of stuff from. So, you know, that's where we're going to send the trade routes from. Go on the hunch, I say. Go on the hunch. Big old eruption again kills that same tile. I think Billy's going to have an eternal issue with Mount Vesuvius. It's almost like historically it could have been predicted. Jammin', time to get settling again. What you're best at. It's what you're optimized for. Team Vicky wants to get involved as well. Yay, everyone's my friend. Remember, it's easy to keep everyone your friend and then slowly break alliances as you go. Flying Thunder's already making 142 gold per turn. I don't even think that's anywhere near our max as well. There's exploration though. We're going to switch governments immediately. Naval infrastructure, trade confederation. Press gangs is suddenly looking very interesting indeed. But veterancy will go in. Colonial offices. 15% faster growth and 3 loyalty per turn on cities not of my original continent. That's all of my good cities now. Pop Republican legacy in for now. I think this is a decent setup. It's not perfect. There is more that we need, but for now, it really does help to grow the cities out a little bit. Just having a look at the range of this factory. So with Mexico City, it's like that. Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. Do that, or do we do my capitals one to start with? I think actually Flying Thunder. Yeah, we're just moving industry over here now. Now diplomatic service, because Visselbanken, all of these trade routes are with allies at the moment. Every single one. Maybe not the Mittler one, but there's a lot of other stuff. And that's going to hugely increase my city's powers again. There's industrialization. Did I get any coal? It's under a mission, but I do have some coal. But Hattus is also giving me some as well. Excellent. I'm going to pillage this tower for 1 turn's worth of science. What do I go to unlock first? I think we're actually going to unlock steam power. Get some railroads going. Let's boost that a little bit, but I'm going to take the peace. Don't need to be fighting this whole time. We'll go back to war when we want to go back to war. And to be honest, right now I am tempted to go to war. Not because I'm just a massive warmonger in this game, which of course is true. I am. But we're currently 17 techs behind Brazil, and pillaging is going to be one of the main ways that we catch up. I've seen a few comments about people saying, oh, would you be able to do this level of difficulty without war? And yes, you could, but it would be very difficult because war is a tool in this game. It's a strategy. It would be like trying to win the game with one hand tied behind your back. Perfectly possible, but you're handicapping yourself. So you have to kind of think, why? Why would you do that? It's going to be a lot more difficult if you try and do it like that. Flying Thunder, though, now has its factory. I think my first target is going to be Australia, which sounds like a really horrible thing for an ally to do, but as long as we don't let our alliance go to level 2. These cities are so easy for me to attack. Kilwa's here. There's a beautiful harbour, Venetian Arsenal, really nice campuses. I think this is honestly the best place for me to go. We're going to need a sizable navy to make that sort of attack, but I think we can get one together. Peace with Byzantium as well. That just gives me a tiny bit of the respite. I don't have the military strength to really be doing anything right now. Can't obviously have this situation forever, but my science needs to really push up. And look at Brazil, up at 450 science per turn now. Australia's up to 378. These are some very, very big numbers. Big, scary numbers I don't like. Visselbanken, all of my trade routes are now going to get a lot more powerful. I mean, look at these. Look at these beautiful routes. Yes, I would love to get 2 food, 5 production, and 24 gold from a single route. And all of this, of course, is being multiplied by 45%. Oh yeah. Have a coal power plant. Flying Thunder is going to very quickly be probably my best city. Machinery and smoke. We have power. 78 production as well. Beautiful. Still selling pretty much all of the resources that I can. Usual Ursa strategies. If I can sell it, especially coal. Look at all the gold we can get here. That's enough to then go over to Jammin and buy in a factory. Not quite. Anyone want some horses? Go on. Yay, horse sale. Look at this. Brilliant. Factory's done. All of my trade routes are now going over to the New World. Another university finished in Billy. When this city's not on fire, it's doing very well. I guess I could say that about most things. Stop burning and everything will be fine. You see just how many campuses campuses we're now building. Got more settlers on the way as well. I'm actually going to go over to the tundra over here because there's tobacco, there's jade, a lot of stuff that I can sell, different continent as well. Oh, 7 production from this route. Amazing. Wow. Very quickly becoming a huge hub. The immense power of the world's first armada. Ironclad armada. Quite a powerful unit now, actually. This would be really handy in my war against Australia. I still think Australia is probably the best way to go. I know all of my trade routes with Australia. We have other allies. Means I can reset a bunch of my trade routes, actually, thinking about it very cruelly. Nalanda, another scientific city-state. Quite a few of them. Geneva's the only one that I'm not going to be able to get under control, but this is a lot of university power. Australian battleship. There are some things that we will have to deal with. I'm not going to deny that, but I think we can. I think we can get away with this. I mean, look, ironclad versus battleship, I think is an easy win for me, especially because with mercantilism, don't forget, I'm Spain. I actually unlock fleets and armadas with mercantilism. So that's why I'm rushing up to seaports as quickly as I can, because then I can build them directly. Once we take Australia, we will have Venetian arsenal, and that means I can double build fleets. See, look, I've got a long-term plan. It may be a crazy plan, but it is a long-term plan. Humanism, done, amazing. In goes the coal power plant. I'm also going to just quickly get this admiral. I think you're going to be very handy. Finish the university in Flying Thunder. Just getting more missions by the day. I will unlock this source of coal though. There's a lighthouse in glorious Petra. Speaking of, let's try and build Petra. Might be a little bit tricky, but I think we can do it. Barbarians are swarming in on my new city, but don't worry, we can pop it down. The first settlement on Asia. Mushkin Madeltord. And I think I want to unlock privateers as soon as I can. Mercantilism is too powerful. It can boost electricity. We need to get more warry, and that's a very good way of getting warry. And there is the alliance with Australia. Gone. Theodora is technically at war. I could, in theory, join in with that war. In theory. If I gave some sugar, if I gave Byzantium some sugar, she'd give me a war. There are some troops here. There's a Curacao, there's a trebuchet, there's field cannons. Australia is going to have really, really difficult, very painful troops, but it is worth pointing out there are only 2 allies, Mapuche and Ethiopia. We are separately allied to. We could join in on a war here. We could move all our trade routes around. We could try and gun for this coastal power. This is going to be a very, very tricky war, but you know what? I think it's probably the best option I've got. Steel walls. We're going to need frigate armadas. We're going to need privateer armadas, but I think this might be something we do. Well, dear audience, I have had a bit of a break in recording, aka I went to bed and slept on it. I have been weighing up the pros and the cons of declaring war on Australia right now. You'll remember, the main thing here is the fact that the alliance has just expired. If I re-up my alliance with them, I will go into alliance level 2 because of all the points we were getting, which means if I declare war on them later, I would trigger a betrayal emergency that would put me at war with pretty much the whole world. They are as bad as nuking people. Let's start with the cons of going to war. From a technology and a civic point of view, we are not yet ready. Ideally, I would like seaports in place, which would let me build out armadas and fleets from scratch. It would also give me time to get mercantilism, which lets me get fleets and armadas in the first place, and also unlock the privateer, which I can then use to raid Australia's coasts. So we are very much a little bit behind right now. I have not had time to build up my boats. A lot of my cities are still building up science. Universities, campuses, libraries, all of this stuff is still being built. Australia has Mitla, which is right on my border, and they have a lot of units on my border right now. Overall, a lot of cons with going to war with them. Did I mention steel walls? I should mention steel walls. They also have at least 1 battleship around, so we know that technologically they are ahead. What are the pros then? What are the absolute wins? I mentioned before, but currently their only allies are also my allies, so they won't join in on this war. I can also go through Theodora, which means that I shouldn't, in theory, trigger another double production run on Australia. We've also been Visselbanken trading with these cities, which means they are incredibly strong, so if I take them over, this will be a huge boon for me. I also currently have a bunch of trade routes running to them at the moment, which are not being worked on Visselbanken. The longer I have these routes up, the more production and food that I am losing, because Visselbanken is not achieving anything right now. Declaring war will reset all of that stuff. I also have a couple of envoys. I'll lose access to Mitla, but I could still get people like Bandar Brunei on side. There's a little bit of a debate in my head as to whether I focus on scientific city-states or mercantile city-states. Do I focus on gold accumulation or science accumulation? I think gold for me right now is the work, because I think with privateers and frigates, I should be able to take on Australia. Fingers crossed. I mean, I say that Canberra currently is rocking 88 defense. Even my ironclad armada can't get anywhere near it. Gonna need a lot of boats. A lot of boats. They almost follow another religion, Australia. Almost do. I almost have my +5 against them, but not quite. I probably need to spread a religion around my own lands a little bit to get the benefits of that. I think it being turn 141 and us being slightly behind, the way I'm seeing it is this. We need to take bold, drastic action to get back into this game. 30 techs to their 42. That's not so bad. Brazil's now on 48. We're not winning scientifically. We're not winning culture. We do have the largest military somehow. It's very technologically behind, but it is large. We can't get a religious victory, and Ethiopia's winning diplomatic, but not by much. Ethiopia looks strong, but they do not look like they're going to win the game right now. So if I was to get a level 2 alliance with them, it wouldn't be the worst thing, because I don't think I'd have to rock over and kill them. I could focus instead on taking over Australia, Kemer, Byzantium. There's a lot of land near me that can be taken. Yeah, declaring war on Australia resets my trade routes. It means I can send them all over to Ethiopia instead. It's all a different continent. I think this is the play. This is really aggressive, really aggressive, but I think we have to do it. So first of all, Bandar Bruno. It is a terrible city-state. It really is, but it's the shipyard gold. That's what I'm looking for here. And Byzantium, let me into your war, please. Oh, this is painful. I'm going to lose a lot of gold per turn temporarily here because all of my trade routes are going to Australia, but we can reset them. Pull all of my troops back. We're going to let Australia attack me. That's the ideal here. I want them to advance into my lands and for me to get a lot of advantage in attacking defensively. I lost almost, I'd say 40% of my gold per turn there. Brutal. Just going to quickly go through everyone and see who wants to get involved in this war against Australia. Australia is so technologically advanced that it's probably likely that quite a few people will join in. We've already seen England getting in. Brazil wants in as well. I think actually this might give Australia double production, but you know, they were going to get it at some point. There you go. They're at war with the world, apart from Congo and their 2 allies. How are you going to get out of this, Hawk of War? Eh? How are you going to get out of this? I'm going to keep diplomatic favor. I'm going to start hoarding it so I can ward off emergencies. I think that's going to be very important. And I'm going to keep an eye out for NITR. The reason being, NITR is what I need to build frigates, and I'm going to need a lot of frigates. Speaking of, we need a bit of a government reset here. Let's pay the 180 gold. Veterancy is so useful, but right now I don't need it. Equally, colonial officers, not going to need that for a bit. Let's put in press gangs to make my frigates faster. Islbanken and Trade Confederation is a really good combo. Naval infrastructure as well with my shipyards is very handy. Merchant Confederation, a little bit more gold. No, colonial officers is pretty good. Let's not get rid of that for now. And we'll put the raid card in a little bit. Here we go. City number 14. I really want the builder card in at some point, but I just don't have the space for it. Welcome to the game, Opf. I need you to accumulate some delicious niter for me. Actually, this is already in range of the factory. That helps. I like building around factories. All right, we'll let Australia adjust to this newfound war. They do have 752 military strength, and they're going to build a lot more given their insane production now. I just want to see where their units are. Where do they move? Let's take our time. Oh, do we go for ranged or siege? I'll go for siege. I don't think it really matters, and double admiral points would be fun. I'm not going for a diplo victory. I'm saving my diplo favor just in case of emergencies. Anti-cav and no great generals. Fine. That is awesome. And you can see all my trade routes are now ready to rock. These probably are all now going to go towards Ethiopia. There's only so many routes we've got with Ethiopia, but I can get the gold, we can get the food, the production, the faith, and with this Islbanken, this will mean that we've got some amazing looking trading hubs. Speaking of, there is Australia's battleship. I knew it was around here somewhere. We still have the letter, which is incredibly handy, so we'll just make sure that any city around Australia's units just has walls in. Yeah, I think my other city is going to be Finickerman. Yeah, we're getting all of the Casa bonuses over here as well. I might eventually move Magnus over, or Pingala, or someone. I like the idea of just making sure we're getting all of these percentage bonuses on all of our trade routes. And as you can now see, we can 2-turn frigates. We need as many boats as we can get. I'm going to need at least a fleet of maybe 15-20 boats in order to take on Australia here. This is going to be pretty brutal. All of our gold is going to be going into shipyards. Gold makes gold. It also makes production, but shipyards are really good. So Australia is making its play and seizing quite a few of the scientific city-states. Mitla, Nalanda, that's fine. Taking Australia out the game is going to give me a lot more access to those scientific city-states. So that is awesome. We can also see that currently Australia has an intel advantage on us. commerce. That's quite understandable because they have printing and we don't. They've got the +9, but there's no other bonuses. So actually, our caravels can really deal with these units pretty well, and our ironclad can absolutely smash through it in one go. So this is our big Bertha unit. It's powerful, it's effective. That gives me hope that if Australia does attack me, we should be able to hold them off. Electricity now wants 2 privateers. Well, we're going to build those automatically. So let's get printing now. Let's undo that +3 combat bonus that Australia currently has over us. It won't last long, so we keep working extra bits of science around here. I'm just making sure that all of my embarked units are kind of sitting around in a similar place. The Falcon is almost a bit of a staging post. We are nowhere near attacking Canberra. I feel secure in waging this little proxy war for a little bit. Nothing's really happening. It just kind of is. This is where the trade routes start to multiply and get really good. Okay, yes, production. We've come from like 22 turns to 3 turns. This is where Spain is really good. Get this harbor finished and then this city is going to be wonderful. It is a Yosemite city, don't forget. We've got some really good tiles around here once we're ready to go. Curtin's also taken Muscat now. Now he's working to undermine all of my beautiful gold income. I'm hoping that one won't last. There are other people fighting over Muscat, not just me. You know, I said I wasn't going to sell my Diplo favor? Well, turns out I'm really impatient. Who would have thought? Here's enough gold now to buy a great merchant, which gives me not only 3 era score, but also mercantilism, which with the boost for that was to get a great merchant. That is an extremely good combo because now this opens up the top of the tree. Colonialism gives me colonial taxes, 25% gold and 10% production on all of the trade routes going from the New World. That's huge, as well as some awards. Envoys, then we've got natural history, Thought Water Park, and then we've got conservation for naturalists. And then we're going to beeline this cultural heritage, because cultural heritage gives all of my missions, I believe, +1 science. Nope, I lie. +2 science. Yeah, we've got to beeline that. I've got so many missions done. Like, these things I am spamming for the faith income, for the production. We've got 20 of them, so already that's worth 40 science per turn, and I reckon we can probably triple that number by the time we get to them. So that's a big priority for us now. Come on game. Give me Niter. Nope, no Niter at the moment. Fine, we'll work on that slowly. Mushkin Mandeltort is suffering a little bit here. There's a lot of barbs. Right, Frigate, I'm going to need you to go out and help clear this out. This is getting silly. There's printing, +3 combat strength. Just using a lot of my units to discover all of the nooks and crannies at the tops of the maps. As we get extra city-states appearing, it's really important that we're the first ones to find them. Next up, astronomy, which we need the boost for colonialism. Quite like that I've synced that up. And then I think we're probably going to go down to pick up conquistadors, military academies, and battleships. Battleships, I think, will be a huge boon for me. I'm still popping settlers out, or, you know, everywhere. And I think all of my settlers are just beelining for spaces that give me strategics. Coal, niter, anything I can use to make an army. Another mitigated flood. I'm a genius. So modest as well. Blimey. A new harbor, which is brilliant because now I can go for a 6 gold lighthouse and then immediately an 8 gold shipyard. This city can start to grow. Australian ironclads. I worried these would appear. The good thing though is that Curtin doesn't appear to have any coal. Yeah, they're on -20 on coal at the moment. This sometimes happens. They have a very small amount of land, 6 cities to be precise, and they were buying my coal for a lot of money, which normally means they don't have any themselves. So they've put coal power plants down in order to get really good production. Yep, you can see them, and they burnt through all of their coal. Oh no, what a shame. That means my ironclad can just come in and wage war. Let's pick off as many of these units as we can, as quickly as we can. Even my caravel would actually have quite good luck here. Level up my privateer while I'm here. Bam, 8 experience, thank you very much. This is quite cheeky. I am gonna settle over to the left, right next to Kemmer, because there is a source of coal and 2 sources of iron I can just grab on the edge of this continent, and there's nothing they can do. Electricity boosted, annoyingly, not finished. What do I need? Oh, that's ridiculous. 5 science to finish that. Come on. Fine, we'll get astronomy, then we'll get electricity. Should be able to finish that almost instantaneously. Here is the aforementioned city, Thurston Nina. Because of Hicksonk Dracones, it's loyal. Polar Wallaber, this is what you were built for. Stealing resources from Kemmer. Oh, that is quite satisfying. This is Very satisfying. I like it. Australia appears to have left a lot of their trade routes here. Now do I want press gangs or do I want to put the raid card in? It's not saying how much I'm going to get from the plundering, but raiding is going to be an important part of my economy here. Press gangs is really important. I'm going to have to get rid of Republican legacy if I want that. And that, I don't know if I do actually. I don't think these trade routes are going to make too much of a difference. 140, no, it wouldn't have been worth the change. But when it comes to pillaging districts, I think I might have to put that card in, you know. Also, we're now forming fleets because we can do that now. Fleets are very, very useful because fleets do not get killed anywhere near as quickly. As I mentioned, I don't think Ethiopia are going to be challenging for the win, so we are resuming our alliance with them. Just keeping an eye out as well. If their alliance with Australia ever expires, I am immediately swooping on that, and they are going to join in with this war. They'll love it. There's astronomy. Loads of boosts as well. Just to put everything in context here, this is what we're up against in Canberra at the moment. 93 strength. My privateer fleet can do nothing against it. My frigate, which is unpromoted at the moment, can't do anything either, but that will be 65, 72 with Armada, 82, 89 with promotion. So we can get it up, but we're gonna have to really push, really push. More troops, more raiding. Should be able to do all this stuff. Like I'm fairly confident, but just take a little bit of pushing, you know? Kemmer is not gonna be my friend in the long run, but that's fine. If they're allying themselves with Australia, it gives us a lot of area to attack. Congo as well still doesn't like it. Don't worry. Congo, again, there'll be a pretty decent area to attack later in the game, I think. Difficult to get to, but we'll get there. There's electricity. Seaports have been unlocked. Fantastic. They give 2 gold to all coast tiles on a city, a little bit of housing, but most importantly, naval units are trained really quickly. The more I fill up the tech tree, by the way, the better my pillaging's going to be. Pillaging yields are worked out based on the percentage of your tech tree that you've unlocked, so this actually ends up being pretty useful. More coal. 7 production on that tile. Wow, that's pretty good. I forget the Pantheon just kicks in and makes that amazing. Colonialism. Oh, it's all good. We're going to get truly Spanish and a bit of a government shift now. Press gangs is gone. Colonial officers is gone. Republican legacy is gone. Instead, we are going to pick up raid. We are going to put in colonial taxes for the golden production. Already it reckons it's going to give me 142 per turn. Amazing. I'm going to put veterancy back in just to start getting some seaports up. But now, with the raid card in, I can make up for the lack of resources because I haven't got Republican legacy anymore, and we can start pillaging. 186 science. That is a ton's worth of science. We're now doubling our science per turn. Pillage economy. This is how we are going to catch up with Brazil. We are 16 techs behind them. That is absolutely frightening. I also now have 2 extra envoys. I'm going to pop 1 into Hunza for more shipyard gold. Yep. And 1 into Geneva for more university science. Look at the percentages here. 50% gold modifier. Oh yes. All trade routes going from a new world now are giving me obscene amounts of gold, and I love to see it. Also going to go and seize this other source of coal, making sure we got tons coming in per ton. Coal is a huge financial gain for us. In fact, actually, I can land a courser on this tile and we can pillage it manually as well. That's awesome. There is stirrups. Now on to gunpowder, then we'll pick up banking. We'll go from there, just filling out the tech tree now. Slowly does it. Archaeological museum. This is a little bit of overkill, but this boosts natural history for me. Again, we just want to get all the way up to cultural heritage as soon as physically possible. Now this is exactly what we want to see. Look at this, a very weak Australian unit that can absorb a little bit of damage. What this means as I continue to pillage stuff is that I can level my troops up by shooting it from a safe distance. This gives my frigates an opportunity now to really start to get powerful. Canberra is a little bit weaker now that it's lost its campus. Next up, the theatre square, entertainment complex, and the harbour. I think this holy site is in Canberra as well, isn't it? Yeah, we need more raiding units, but this war already is fruitful for us. It is giving us more than it is costing, and that is by far the most important bit. Now banking is done. I think I'm going to gamble on rushing battleships. I think this is by far the best way we're going to claw our way into this Australian war. Like, I can keep this war ticking over for as long as I need. I'm not too fussed, but anything that speeds it up is going to help me massively. That's another admiral. We've actually had a lot of admirals coming in this game, which has been really good. And this canal is so useful for getting settlers out. It's ridiculous. I'd like natural history as quickly as possible though. So let's begin to raid. 200 culture. That's 2 turns worth of culture per raid there. Lovely. Is there anything else that Australia has built that is outside of the range of defense? defenses? I don't think there is, but I'll move my units in just to be sure. New little canal city to the north with a beautiful source of coal. Dr. Bobby, this is all yours. Get in there. Throw in the fishing boats. Start the harbor as soon as you can. Thank you. That was my 16th city, by the way. You can see 16 cities and 111 population. The AI now has 12 and 97, 7 and 80, 6 and 56, 6 and 55, 9 and 68, 11 and 97. Congo's doing very well there. 9 and 66, 6 and 38, and 11 and 87. So we're now the population leader. Took us to turn 150 to get there, but we did do it. Hicksunk Draconis has been so useful this era. It really has. A little bit of a brainwave here. It's a bit of a random one, but this might work. I don't have a lot of technology to get very good land units. I focused on my navy. So we could get Niang units. These I can use my gluttonous faith on, and I can just beeline military academies and get, it's like 85 strength units or something, 75. And then obviously when we can put them together with nationalism, that helps as well. That isn't a bad combo. I think that could work really, really well here. Let us keep an eye out for combos like that. I think they will exist if we look for them. So my privateers are able to really get in here, start doing some amazing pillaging. Watch this. Bam. Another 200. And we've got another 200 science. Yes. I think the Ironclad is going to be able to survive a ranged attack, so we'll do a double pillage on this harbor as well. Yes. Privateer armadas. I haven't got the double production card in at the moment, but still that's looking good. Aha, my merchant finally made it to Zanzibar. That's worth another 50 gold per turn. Look at this. Building up those nice +3s. 21 damage my Ironclad took there. Not too bad. Very large Chimera army attacking Australia as well. Good to see. More pillaging going on. Actually, that now gives me enough faith to purchase in Ada Lovelace, who I will because she's brilliant for the computer boost, but also 2 extra districts in my big cities. I think that's the sort of thing that comes in really handy later, so I will claim it whilst we can. 21 gold per turn on the peace deal with Australia. No, I don't want that peace, but it's good to see that they are beginning to falter a little bit. More plunder, more pillage. All of it's mine. All of it will be mine. All of it must be mine. Oh, frigate just took 60 damage from the walls there. Yeah, my frigates are not going to stand up to a lot of punishment when it comes to being counterattacked. Someone's taken Bologna from me, but I'm still getting the main benefit, which is it. I mean, I do like the great people points. Maybe I want to grab that back? Don't know. I kind of also want Lahore. I'll think about it. But anyway, bombardment. Now up to 76 strength. We can get to 86, 90. Yeah, we can get pretty high. We just need to make sure that we're actually using all of these units properly. Pillage. Okay, military science is almost there now. I've made friendship with Brazil, but I don't know if I actually want to ally to them again because they really are at risk of winning this game. They already have rocketry. If I make another alliance with them, there's a very good risk that will tip over. Hit alliance level 2. Yeah, I'm just going to have to friend them, but not do anything further. Here's the military academy for a bit more era score. Probably didn't need it this era, but never mind. Lahore is looking like more and more of a cool option, I must say. It really is. Thinking about it. Very much thinking about it. Oh, there's metal casting as well. Working our way along the bottom of the tech tree now. Only 3 techs away. Ballistics. I don't have 2 forts, and that is something that I could build easily. Yeah, we're trying to absolutely optimize this as much as we can right now. Oh, you're kidding me. Petra. I was 1 turn off it. I was literally about to start talking over the intro, and someone stole Petra from Glorious Petra. Oh, that is appalling. Right, who did that? Who stole Petra from Glorious Petra? Mapusha. Oh, you absolute rogue. I am not happy about that at all. I will remember that. Look at this. So much production. I literally have production for absolutely anything. That is... Oh, I'm so annoyed. Never mind. We'll survive, but I will be very, very annoyed the rest of the game. Okay, frigate is now at full power. 89 strength before we upgrade to battleship. That's as good as we are going to get. Well, we might as well continue putting pressure on Canberra. This war may last absolutely forever, but the longer we sit in this bay, the longer we can stop Australia from really being able to recover. And the ground Grand Master's Chapel is also recovered with faith per turn. I think it was a pretty easy choice, really. I want later into the game to be able to buy things like artillery, bombards, all of that good stuff with faith. More raiding, as I say, just getting rid of all of these districts, and the garrison strength is now going down and down and down and down. Thank you, Australia, for giving me absolutely everything we could ever need. I'm now starting to do wall damage, very small wall damage, but it is wall damage. Another privateer armada as well. Flying Thunder slowly starting to produce this sort of stuff. Portugal look like they're getting a little bit feisty and they're starting to settle around them, so I'm just going to claim this little island here. A lot of luxuries, it's got a good strategic position. Wolfman, you can have this one. It actually looks like a really good place to have a city. I'm thinking this actually might become a bit of a trading hub later into the game. No pressure. But Moksha, you get over here immediately. Yeah, this place looks good. And there is the second fort. Ballistics is boosted. Now we can go rifling into refining. Battleships are so important for us. Well, here we are, dear audience. New era, new me, industrial era. Australia is normal. Everyone else is a blend of everything. That's fine. Australia being normal means that if I do take their cities, I should be able to hold them a little easier. Hicksunk Dracones. I'm not going to be settling many cities, but the loyalty is helpful, and the +2 movement on naval and embarked units is also very helpful when it comes to raiding. Reform the coinage times by 17 routes. That's a lot of gold. I'm also running quite a few campuses, but I'm not running the campus card at the moment. That's worth bearing in mind. To arms is a really useful casus belli, but 15% production on military units is not to be sniffed at either, especially if I am very much technologically behind. Means I can spam out very weak units and upgrade them with gold when I get the tech. In fact, so much that I think that 15% production towards military units is going to be more helpful for me in the longer run. I think there was a lot of argument for a lot of different options there, but I'm tempted to believe for me that's the good one. I'm also going to be changing my government around now. We're going to get rid of veterancy, and I'm going to put in press gangs. It is time to make that golden age work. One of the specific ways we'll do that is to invest in a little bit of niter and make sure that my very powerful cities are now producing frigate armadas. We are, in fact, not very far away from battleships now. I want to make sure I've got a few things to upgrade. At some point, I'm going to want to put Republican Legacy back in, but that's more at the point when a lot of cities are either sitting at +2 or +4 amenities. Now, this will help. This is an aquarium, and the aquarium, if I just remind everyone, with Mexico City is hitting that range. So quite a few of my cities. Not all of them, but quite a few. I think most of my gold bow is just buying the world's niter. We need a few of these frigates. I cannot emphasize that enough. All the pillaging we can get away with, though, we need to keep doing it. I need to keep working on Canberra. This city is proving a little bit nuisancey. They've got a cavalry corps in here now. That's a lot more strength. But if you've got embarked units, I will attack them. No alliances, Brazil. You are the one I'm worried about, and I do not want to alliance lock myself with you because I feel like, yep, they're already going to space. Turn 161. They're already on satellites. Brazil is going to be the big boss in this game. We're nowhere near attacking them as well. Oh, that privateer just got hit pretty badly. Never mind. Conservation. More envoys. I think I'm going to go with my hunch here, which I think is ridiculous, but this could well work. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we now have Lahore. Excellent. That is a welcome upgrade for me. So you can see a lot of my boats that I'm building quadrireme armadas, I'm building frigates everywhere. A lot of these will be finished in 3 turns. I'm going to do a 1-turn tech, or at least 1 turn of another tech, just for a second. Let's get scientific theory. Then I'll switch back to refining. I want to upgrade with gold because I don't have the production card. Once I go a little bit further, where's the card? Cold War? Yeah, there it is. That's the battleship building card, but I don't have that just yet. Cultural heritage, though, we will boost that very quickly. I'm sure we can get a themed building if we try hard enough. While I'm in the market for allies, 2 more envoys into Venice means I'm getting 6 gold on my ship ports, or seaports, I should say. 60 gold per turn already, and we are not even done. That helps. That helps a lot. I think we've got to take on Kema at some point because they are adjacent to Brazil. If we're going to attack Brazil at any point here, we need adjacency, and they are by far the easiest way in. 10 cities as well would be a huge acquisition for us. 520 faith. Here is Niang. This thing currently has 55 strength. Okay, it's not the highest. Kind of hoping this would be a little bit higher. Oh well, at least they're cheap units. I can produce units quicker in encampment cities as well. Off goes my spy. Somewhere safe I'm not going to get to. How long is a G? It's this long. Oh, look at that. All of these campuses are being built. I'm actually going to leave it alone until it's finished getting rebuilt. That's useful. I heavily encourage the rebuilding of your nation, Australia. I heavily encourage it. Well, I'll just be borrowing this science from you you. Thank you very much. All of my boats will be finished next turn. Amazing. This might time absolutely perfectly with me. Okay, all the boats look like they're done. So we will pillage refining. Did I get any oil? I did under Glorious Petra. There we go. Bit of the consolation prize in that city. But now, press gangs, you are no longer useful to me. Professional army is what it's all about. Actually, raid is also not important to me at all because we've raided everything. So we're going to go Republican Legacy, Trade Confederation, Naval Infrastructure. I think that's a good blend of stuff. Natural Philosophy, I would love to get in at some point. I just need a bigger government. So there you go. We've saved up about 3,000 gold. We have a decent chunk of coal coming in per turn. Let's get upgrading. Now, this is just 87 strength. You can see without any upgrades at all, I'm doing decent damage. This is my promoted frigate. This battleship's now doing 104 damage. That is a lot better. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff indeed. Tech-wise, well, to me, it feels easy. Let's go chemistry. Unlock research labs as soon as we can. Oh, okay. Byzantium and Ethiopia just took out Mittler and raised it. Harsh. Harsh, but fair. Let's not talk about that again. Alrighty, as these battleships start making their way to the front line, we are going to make sure that we have as many armadas as possible. Benefits to armadas are a decrease in coal income, slight decrease in gold maintenance, and they are, of course, harder to kill. So we've already got at least 3 armadas with plenty more. Nope, 4 armadas with more on the way. This is a huge, huge increase in combat power. And luckily, we have an admiral that can boost them. Well, that is just swell. Bam! Actual damage here. Lovely. I'm also going to start breaking this entertainment complex. No, actually, I'm going to leave it. Reason I'm going to leave it is because this will heal my units, but also when I take over Canberra with all of its high population, it's going to actually keep the city very happy, and that will help me to keep it. So I think in the long run, it actually makes sense for me to do that. We'll see. We'll see. That could be total rubbish, but I think it checks out logically. Still getting all my quadriremes to upgrade. There's 900 gold on that one, but it is so worth it. It is so worth it. Don't tell anybody, but Mushkin Mandeltort is an oily chicken. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I know Glorious Petra had some oil, but I'm generally disappointed with the lack of oil in all this desert. I mean, come on, give me desert. So I just got the notification that Brazil is now in space. They have the Earth satellite. They have satellites themselves now researched. Oh, Brazil is not looking happy. With this arena and this zoo, I'm hoping that we should now almost force all of my cities into being happy. That'll be a big benefit for us. Very big. Flying Thunder's production is now getting pretty high as well. Might start running a few projects here. Let's start the campus research grants because this will boost me along quite nicely in tech. I am slowly catching up. On 44 techs, we are now in 5th. Curtin has 46. Theodora 48. Congo 48. Brazil with 55 is still the problem. We're still 11 behind Brazil, but we are now only 4 techs behind second place. So I am starting to rev up nicely. It's all of these envoys. They are very much helping. I mean, Mittler being killed actually didn't affect things at all. That's the silly thing because we were at war with Mittler, but still, it's kind of sad in the long run that they're gone. I am going to steal Bologna back though. Now the reason for that is not only the research lab science that I'll get in a bit, but I'm almost about to pick up Kilwa. And now I've got 2 scientific city-states. That's worth 15% science in my empire, which is very nice indeed. Now the battleships are all lined up and are now starting to blitz Canberra with great power. I always love it when you have so many battleships. You have to kind of think about where they're all going to sit because you genuinely, you've got too many. The tiles are becoming full, but look at this. They may be weak, but stacked together, Canberra is now taking significant damage. I forgot to move my admiral around there, but actually, oh no, this admiral counts. Oh, we've even got 2. Amazing. How have I actually managed to steal this settler as well? I mean, they had a warrior right there and I refused to go and steal it back. Oh, brutal. I mean, that's Australia saying, Mr. Settler, you do not matter. We do not care about you at all. I'm just going to buy 1 aluminium. Not because I need it, but I'm just tired of all the exclamation marks at the top, making me think that, oh, there's something really good to trade. It's like the AI has aluminium. I know. You don't need to keep telling me. just leave it be. Flying Thunder, 15 population. That's lovely. Oh, and Goddard. Goddard is suddenly really important. I'm going to save my faith up here and see if we can pick Goddard up. 7,000 faith. That's good. Nelson is off. It is really, really handy. Let's go campus research and switch into industrial. I would love Goddard. Basically depriving the AI of Goddard is kind of half the battle here. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Portland, Clint Hennis, The Nickerman, Daddy Bear Todd, Toon General, Civilized, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Skeptical Bear, Cinnamon Beard, Radiatore, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, Polar Beret, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedged, Mushkin Mandletort, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Dr. Bobby, Polar Wallabear, Mixomatosis, NTG Golfman, Indigenous 68, Technology Poet, Teddy Zursa, Zaf, Barnaby Rex, Charlie Bears, Flying Dutch Burbs, Nate the Great, Alex Frost, Mean Penguin, Interplanet Janet, Frankincense Battlezord, Sleepy Lab, Bookaluk 79, Bob Loblaw, Davalex, Geography Teacher, Juvara, Hal Carnassus, Morax, Sinikush, Kappa Yobby Vireni, Echo Bear, Deja Vu. Thank you everyone for your support. See you all in the next video. Goodbye!